Do you know why the security guards of old shopping malls in the past would rather take the blame for lost items and get fired than patrol at midnight? Today's story takes place with my friend's father, Uncle Wang, in 2007. Due to some special reasons, Uncle Wang was unemployed for a period of time. However, Uncle Wang is a man who cannot sit still, and he has a deep-seated sense of crisis. Therefore, he found a night shift security guard job at a local old shopping mall. However, the job advertised was not for a security guard, but for a general helper. This is because the salary for a security guard is 1,000 yuan per month, while the night shift only pays 800 yuan. To be honest, no one in the family wanted Uncle Wang to take this job because they did not need the extra 800 yuan. In addition, in just over 3 months, Uncle Wang could go back to work. However, there was no way around it. Uncle Wang is stubborn, and he submitted his ID card and officially started work. The shopping mall has 4 floors. The first floor sells fresh vegetables and fruits. The second floor sells hardware and sundries. The third floor sells clothing and general merchandise. And the fourth floor sells high-end women's clothing and furs. The specific job is to clean up the scene at 5:30 p.m. on time, lock the 4 main doors from the inside at 6 p.m., and then return to the duty room on the west side. Open the doors at 5 a.m. on the next morning, and that's considered off-duty. Actually, this is a very relaxed job. It's just about sleeping in a different place. However, the duty room is located next to a row of shops selling beef and mutton on the west side of the first floor. Over time, the stains on the ground and walls cannot be cleaned thoroughly, emitting an unpleasant smell. Uncle Wang said that he could tolerate the smell as long as he was awake, but as soon as he lay down to sleep and closed his eyes, the smell would be amplified infinitely, making him feel sick. So Uncle Wang found some thick novels such as Zhuzan and How a Hoodlum Was Trained. To kill time, he would only sleep when he was really too tired to resist. Everything was normal for the first few days until one night, Uncle Wang was reading in the duty room. As he read, he began to feel drowsy, so he decided to go to bed and turn off the light to sleep. However, when he looked up through the window in front of him, he saw a woman with long hair standing about 5 or 6 meters away. Uncle Wang was startled and wondered what was going on. Could it be that they had not cleaned up properly during the clearance? The problem was that the window in front of him was not made of glass, but of 2 layers of plastic cloth stuck together, covered with a thick layer of oil mud, which was very fuzzy. He could only see the figure of a woman, but could not see her face clearly. Uncle Wang immediately got up and opened the door of the duty room, shouting at the woman, "Hey, what are you doing?" At the same time, the woman had already turned around and walked along the aisle towards the south gate. She was holding a pair of scissors in her hand and making a click-clack sound as she walked. Uncle Wang was scared and didn't dare to shout anymore, but he couldn't just ignore it. He casually picked up a stick behind the door, turned on his flashlight and chased after her. The woman had almost reached the corner of the south gate when Uncle Wang started chasing after her, shouting, "Hey, who are you? Are you going out?" However, as soon as she turned the corner, Uncle Wang watched her disappear. Uncle Wang shone his flashlight and leaned against the wall to carefully check the surroundings, but he couldn't find any trace of the woman. He thought about rushing back to the duty room to call for help, determined to find that woman no matter what. Otherwise, he wouldn't dare to sleep again. Uncle Wang cautiously made his way back to the duty room, leaning against the wall all the while. He was afraid that the woman might appear from behind him and give him a scare. If that happened, it would be over for him. When Uncle Wang reached the duty room, he reached out to push the door open, but suddenly he heard the sound of the children playing and laughing on the 4th floor. Looking up in the darkness, Uncle Wang saw the children running and chasing each other in the hallway on the 4th floor. He wondered, who are these kids? I cleaned very carefully. How could there still be children here? Just as Uncle Wang was about to shout, he suddenly realized something was off. The woman with the scissors had not been found yet. If these 2 children were with her, it would be fine. He could call someone to clear them out later. But if they weren't with her, and she didn't seem like a good person, it could be dangerous for these 2 children. If anything happened to them, it would be his responsibility. At this moment, Uncle Wang didn't care anymore. While calling for help, he shouted loudly, "Whose children are these? Where are their parents?" His voice was loud, but the 2 children ignored him completely. Before his phone could connect, Uncle Wang watched them climb over the railing and continue running upstairs. At that moment, Uncle Wang felt a chill run down his entire body. Clearly, these 2 children were not ordinary. Uncle Wang quickly called his leader, It was already past 12 o'clock. Without hesitation, he woke up the leader from his sleep and brought some colleagues with him. They searched everywhere, upstairs and downstairs, inside and outside, but found no clues. Originally, Uncle Won thought he would be severely criticized by the leader. However, privately, the leader instructed Uncle Won, "You don't need to patrol at night when you are on duty in the future. You can rest well, no matter what you see or hear. Don't come out. I will give you an additional 200 yuan per month." Uncle Won immediately realized that something must have happened in the shopping mall. The next day, he resigned without hesitation and spent more than 3 months at home. When he returned to work, he mentioned this incident to his new colleagues during a chat. One of his colleagues had relatives who owned a store in the mall, and he knew about the incident. It turned out that a few years ago, a wealthy businessman opened a clothing store for his mistress on the 4th floor of the mall. This was discovered by his legal wife, but the businessman managed to cover it up. Later, the mistress gave birth to 2 children who were around 7 or 8 years old. Realizing that this could not continue, the legal wife took a pair of scissors and rushed to the 4th floor of the mall during lunch break when there were fewer people. She knocked down the 3 of them and laid them down in the clothing store, then jumped over the guardrail herself.